Hey everybody, this is Cresso. Hey, in this clip, I'm going to talk about black shadow and white shadow. Okay. You know, lately, at my place, I've been seeing some stuff. I definitely been seeing some interesting shadows. It's pretty deep. I'm going to express what I'm going to give you some examples here, okay? Like early this morning, right? I was in front of my I was in front of the computer and I dozed off a little bit. Closed my eyes, meditating, but you know, I closed my eyes for a bit, right? And then in my peripheral vision, I turned and I saw like whatever this shadow or this being didn't expect me to open my eyes and turn, slight turn. The shadow just moved. Okay, now the computer screen is bright, okay, and it's facing towards I have like a couple of boxes on the side and stuff, and it has its own shadow, okay, and I wasn't obviously, you know, I was closing my eyes, so I knew that something, whatever it was, it just moved because it was watching me while I had my eyes closed. Then what I did is that I put my hand, and I was playing with the shadow. I put my hand in front of the computer, okay, the monitor, to see the light changes or the shadow, and it wasn't quite the same. You know, when I put my hand in front of the monitor, it's so bright, it wasn't the same. So this particular, you know, I would call it, this shadow, okay, was basically, well, I feel there's some sort of spirit that, kind of like incognito, it will camouflage itself as a shadow to hide within an actual, you know, a shadow. That's what I've been seeing lately. But this morning, okay, early this morning, the room was dark, okay, and I just turned around and it just didn't expect me to open my eyes, okay. So that's just one example, and a couple of times I've been seeing some, you know, you recognize a shadow lining in the room, and then you got the lights, you know, in the other room and everything, so you recognize the shadow. There was a couple of situations, like one of them, that I was sitting down and something from a shadow peeked. You know, let's say you have a straight line shadow, okay, and something just moved, like a peak, like another shadow. It just moved down and then up. Now I thought it was movement, okay. Now I thought it was my friend going to another room, but it wasn't the case. She was in the other room. So it's like there's nothing flying. We don't have there's no insects or nothing. It was basically what it was. It was basically like it was another shadow movement. Okay. Now I call it black shadow. Obviously, shadows are black, right? Okay. Now there's a reason why I call this clip white shadows. Okay, because I've seen white shadows. Okay. I don't know. I just came up with this early on, and I was telling my friend of mine, it's like, have you, you know, it just, you know, the word white shadow came to me. So I asked her, say, have you heard of white shadow before? And she said, no, she hasn't, and all that. I was like, okay, you know, something, it just hit me about it, just the idea. And because the reason why I say that, because, you know, I've been seeing some a clear white shadow type moving in front of me, okay, and that was this afternoon. Now this room where I stayed at with the computer it's a little lit, but it's mostly dark, okay. So I've been seeing that off and on. I mean, I don't see as much white shadows as black shadow, but whatever it is, okay, I know I've seen things. I've seen different It's different shadows, but it seems like a different There's like different dimensions that I see. Now, I haven't been taking my ayahuasca brew for the past few months, okay? And, you know, it's just amazing that there's so much activities goes on all around us. You know, a lot of us, we're, you know, when you feel like, oh, I haven't seen anything, how come I don't see anything? You know, it's about it's about what you're aligned with. You know, if you're not, or I could say, you know, an awareness. If you're not aware of certain things, you're not going to see it at the moment. You know, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You're just not aware of it. Now, ayahuasca, you see, ayahuasca, for me, ayahuasca, it helped me, or I could say assist, same thing, but I like to use the word assist more. It's a tool that it guided me or reconnected about things about life, different dimensions. And ayahuasca is definitely play a great purpose in you know, in my life experience being human, or I could just call it as in my human experience. And I really enjoy the things that I've been seeing, especially lately, because I told my friend of mine that I know other beings from different dimensions are, you know, watching me, okay? And sometimes, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I talk through telepathy. I send out thought waves to these beings. I tell them that I'm aware that you're here, and you know, and I tell these beings that you know who I am, you know. And that's where I used to start my ayahuasca experience. Whenever before I start my channel experience and I feel it within that I'm about to channel, I always give the power of I am, because I understand that energy of the I am. And I'll just say, you know who I am. And I may not know what type of being that I'm going to channel, but all my experience has been positive. But far as these shadow images, I call them shadow beings, white shadows and black shadows. I've been seeing them a lot lately. Oh yeah. Now, white shadow, I know a lot of us were going to think it doesn't make no sense. How can shadow be white? There is. See, there's endless amount of dimensions that don't play the same rules as this 3D world. A lot of you that understands this, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you could be in a dark room, okay? You could be in a dark room and it's bright, okay? It's bright. You know, a lot of us think that we rely on the brain as basically to help interpret it, light and everything. You know, my take on that, the brain, to me, the brain is not, my take on it, the brain is just a vessel. If you want to talk about intelligence, okay, infinite intelligence, okay, which is consciousness, it's the spirit. It's not really the brain, okay? Your brain is used in some capacity, but the spirit, which is your intelligence, all the wisdom that you possess, everything from within, okay, is consciousness. So, yeah, I mean, it's all the stuff that goes around from other dimensions is not the same rules as here, for example. So there is a white shadow. So when I say there's a white shadow, yeah, I've seen it myself. Now, I decide I want to do this clip, and I could go back and say, well, someone's gonna believe what I'm saying. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn. I'm going to express this because I'm aligning myself with people that are open, okay, that are open to understand about life. You know, I was just telling my friend of mine before I did this clip early that, you know, I feel humanity will benefit a great deal if people venture outside their five senses. You utilize your five senses, okay? But people, I feel like a lot of us, we need to go outside of that, or not gain, but align yourself with other senses, okay? You know, that's what I feel like. We all capable of doing that. I feel a lot of people are afraid to go outside the five senses, because they are afraid, because they allow their own ego. It's all ego thing. We allow our own ego to basically tell us of the facts of this is what you see. The sky is blue, okay? Okay, the sun goes up, down, okay? You got light, and then you got nighttime, all that. And it's like, this is just the basic stuff I'm saying. But the thing is that there's so much more to life. But we created this structure that you think that all what you see around you is, and that's it. So we are afraid to go outside our five senses because we're going to be worried that we're going to be like what? You're losing your mind? People are going to think I'm crazy. You know, no one's not going to believe me. I mean, do like I do. I inspire you. Share and not give a damn. Okay? I'm not trying to win approval from anybody. I never do. You know? I mean, if I did, I have my moments. Yeah, I let my own ego get the best of me. But ultimately, I know who I am. I'm going to share. Okay? You know, I mean, not everybody's narrow-minded. You know, I know it's a little harsh, but I gotta be straightforward. Not everybody's narrow-minded. Everybody's in a line where they want to be spiritually for a particular purpose. So if you're narrow-minded and you still feel that you're getting something out of it, okay. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to inspire everyone. I'm going to inspire as many people as as desired. You know, that's just one of my role. If you decide to be open-minded, great. You know, we're getting something out of all these experiences. But I want to express up to you about the black shadows and white shadows. I've been seeing some white shadows. I see a clear white movement. It was like a piece of something. I don't know what it was, okay, but it was like it just moved right by me, but very dense, very, very clear, but it's white. It's like, you know, you might call it, a lot of you will say it's a ghost, okay, a ghost. And but no, this is interesting. It's hard to describe it in words, but I'm doing my best here. But I will say this, because I do talk about I am a multi-dimensional being, and a lot of my my experiences as Creso, or even before Creso, from a different time space, I've traveled from different dimensions. There's things that will literally, like, probably will freak you out. Maybe it depends where you at spiritually, you know. I've seen stuff. So there are a world or a dimension that's based on shadow. Okay, there's many different ways. There's dimensions that looks like similar to this dimension, but it sees you. See, these beings could be in alignment with you, that to them you are a shadow. But any other side, okay, you see something like a shadow movement and you don't know what the heck that is, okay, you're gonna really call it a shadow, but it doesn't make sense. Why would a shadow move on its own unless it's a reflection of something else that's moving the room? Now these shadow movements, you know, they move on its own. There's nothing moving around my room, nothing flying, nothing. But this morning, I was telling about this morning, about, it's just funny. I find it